I think we saw ESG funds underperform last year in 2022 as there was a huge focus on the energy sector, the defence sector. They're starting to come back now, and I think partly that's because ESG funds, due to what they focus on, I have quite a large growth tilt, quite a large technology tilt, and we've seen how quite a lot of the technology stocks have been on quite a tear this year. So I think these things ebb and flow, and it's really, really important to take a long-term view of performance and what your investment objectives are.
But they're not immune to the short-term strains, right? And as we talk about technology, again, even today, concerns about cost of capital. We see the US 10-year yield shoot up, concerns around US monetary policy and beyond. So the cost of capital equation is there. The other side of this is that there's been a lot of inflation. We talk about the E side. All of these clean energy providers have been facing escalating costs around scaling up. There's been, a torturous story in the wind turbine market, for instance. So some of these short-term factors are fairly high hurdles, aren't they?
They're certainly high hurdles, but they're hurdles that all aspects of the market have to deal with, not just ESG funds, and everyone's going to have to find a way to pick their way through this time of high inflation and high interest rates that we haven't really seen for over a decade.
In terms of new investors into the ESG space, I mean, we've been talking about the side that there's some pushback, and I've got to say, about a year ago at a private dinner, I heard a banker effectively scoff at the notion of ESG to what was a sympathetic audience. In terms of the opposite side that you think is not necessarily the case, if there are new clients coming into this space, who are they? What sectors, what industries, what investors are interested in ESG at this point?
I think one thing we've been focusing on at Morningstar is the impending generational wealth transfer that's going to be happening over the next few years.
So millennials.
Millennials, Gen Z. The world is eventually going to look like the preferences and concerns and priorities of those generations. And those younger generations are certainly a lot more focused on environmental change, climate change, the structure of society. And they want to invest in line with their own preferences and objectives. And so I think ESG funds certainly are going to have a strong role in that going forward.